Can a movie based on an action figure that peaked in the early 80s release a full live action movie and have it be successful in 2026? Let's find out. Today's topic is going to be Masters of the Universe, the new movie based on the He-Man action figure, released and partnered with Amazon Prime, but it is a Mattel property. And yes, the Mattel that released the Barbie movie not a few years back. But with all that to the side, I was really looking forward to this movie. I mean, what can go wrong? You have a very colorful universe, you have an all-star cast, you have people who are passionate about He-Man, and you're coming out in the summer, which is peak movie time. And really that's where I kind of want to start, is that this movie looks great. Like, there is some wonky CGI at parts, but Eternia looks great. The character designs are awesome and each character is so unique. And the campy elements work. Like, this movie is very campy. And the cast plays into that very well. But although there are pieces of this movie that work, and when you separate them from the full picture, it's awesome. When you put it all together, this is kind of a mess. And the first issue that kind of sets this movie off in the wrong direction is some of the narrative choices that they chose for this story. To me, the introduction was good because you get to see these characters and Adam as a kid. And then Castle Grayskull is attacked and Adam ends up on Earth. Now that right there, I don't think we needed Adam to go to Earth. And again, I don't know too much about the lore, but I feel like when you take us out of Eternia, especially spending so much time in the beginning, it immediately has me lose focus and it feels a little jarring. And the Earth elements, they don't have too much of an impact. Like, there's nothing on Earth that Adam experiences that comes back. I mean, they tried to connect the Earth parts of this with the Eternia parts and showing, hey, his time on Earth really changed him. But Adam, he didn't really change that much. And that is one of the issues I had, is He-Man and the way he's written in this movie, it's so hard to get behind him. And listen, I don't want to hate on Nicholas Galizzini, who plays Adam/He-Man, but I just don't think he was the right choice for this. Like, when I think of what they were trying to do with this character, I think you need someone who can carry this dialogue with that charm and with that comedic timing. And with his background being more romantic movies and more dramas, I just don't think he had the ability to do that. But also, I think the way they wrote He-Man in this movie was going to be a challenge for anybody. I mean, how do you make someone who is written as awkward and make them into an inspiring leader, but with dialogue that doesn't help present that? And it's super unfortunate because all the other characters are doing such a great job, but they made He-Man feel like a stranger in his own movie. Like, they set Adam up to be this HR employee on Earth, where he's very good at talking people down and being a problem solver. But this concept alone falls victim to saying so and not showing so. Like, we have a brief moment where they kind of show him dealing with conflict, but then whenever he's met with a situation later on, he fumbles it completely. There's even a moment where he's trying to be inspiring and he fumbles it, but somehow he still inspires his people. And that's one of my biggest issues, is if you're gonna have this character arc, have Adam be charming. Like, if you don't want him to have the strength and for him to get the strength from the sword, then have him be a strong, influential personality to show that's why he was chosen to wield this power. Instead, he's given the strength for no real reason other than he's a prince. And it kind of defeats the purpose of this power being present in this film anyway, and if they're just gonna give it to Adam when he really didn't earn it. And I do think it takes a little too long for him to get the powers. Like, I believe we were about 45 minutes to an hour into this movie before he actually becomes He-Man. And I think we probably could have cut 30 minutes out so that we can get the ball rolling a little bit quicker. Because once he becomes He-Man, I mean, yeah, the dude's jacked, he's a presence. And you can kind of see that confidence come in, and it gets a little bit more fun. And his dynamic with some of the characters improves a lot more. And speaking of the other characters, I mean, we have Idris Elba as Duncan. Duncan's great. I mean, especially in the beginning when they first introduced him. But then they have an arc with Duncan where he loses a battle in the beginning, to then kind of be amping up that this rematch is going to happen. For then that battle to happen and it's over so quick. Like, it felt like they were writing the script. They're like, oh yeah, wait, we need to finish this arc. Okay, have him beat this dude. But while we're on the topic of villains, I gotta mention Skeletor. Now, although the person who plays Skeletor is not a favorite of people's. I have to say, Jared Leto does a very good job. The movements, the voice, it works. Like every time he was on screen, I immediately locked in and it was so much fun. And that's where the campiness of this movie really works, is the dynamic with his character and the other side characters. And really, whenever you introduce He-Man into the scenes, he kind of takes away from that. Now, his battle in Skeletor's castle is really great, which that's another thing, is the action is awesome. Like there's some sequences that are some of my favorite. Yes, they're CGI heavy, but the movement, the impact, they did a great job with some of those battles. And that final battle with Skeletor and He-Man, it hits. And that kind of brings me back to that point where there's a lot of great moments in this movie, but the road to them is just all over the place. I think it comes back to when they were writing this, they wanted to have those key moments and they wanted to reference, famous memes and some key moments from the shows. And instead of building a narrative that kind of leads to those moments organically, they just placed them in parts of the story and then made a plot that would hit all those key moments they wanted to do. Which is fine if your fan base is big and you know they're gonna show up. I don't think spending $200 million on a He-Man movie was the best choice, especially when you're not gonna focus on making it a good movie on its own. I'm telling you guys right now, we're most likely not gonna get another Masters of the Universe. But if you have any inkling, or if you're a fan of the Master of the Universe franchise, I think you'll find some enjoyable parts of this movie. But I do think it's gonna be one of those movies where they post those scenes on TikTok and you see it and you're like, oh, that looks really good. And then when you watch the whole thing, it just doesn't hit. But hey, the visuals work, the campiness works, and the villain Skeletor is probably the most entertaining part of the movie. But as a whole, it just doesn't come together. And although I didn't like Masters of the Universe, I do hope hardcore fans enjoy this movie. But I want to know what you guys think. Did you watch Masters of the Universe this weekend? Let me know in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this review/analysis, leave a like and subscribe, because we're posting content on a regular basis. And if you missed my last video, I talk about the back rooms and my thoughts on that movie. So make sure to go check that out. But that is going to be it for me today, you guys. My name is Ben James. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.